He's so aggressive. That's why he's dangerous, right? He's got a chance because of how aggressive he is, but obviously he's going to leave a lot of openings. You know, you come at me like that, expect to miss, and some big things getting thrown back at you.
Well, it's a pleasure right now to be joined by my co-host for today, New Zealand Warriors legend Sean Johnson, and of course Alex Volkanovski. Now, Volk, 14 months outside of the Octagon for you. Does it feel a bit surreal for Fight Week to finally be here?
Not really. For some reason, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. I guess I've been to a few fight weeks, even though I wasn't fighting, doing a bit of the media. I think that's what makes me feel like it wasn't that long ago, but no, going through the process as normal and just enjoying it. Yeah, it's been good.
You talk about the time away from the ring, revitalised, refreshed. How's the family going? I know you just welcomed a new one. Found out about. Yep. Yeah, we saw that. How's the missus? How's the kids going with you coming over here right now?
Yeah, they're good. You know, they're just committed as me. You know, even before I left, I was talking to the girls, and we're going, make sure you get that belt back. Even during camp, like I'll eat something, like whether it's I'll sneak a chocolate in or something, which I'm allowed. So like, is that on your diet? You know what I mean? Like they're fully committed as well. So they know I'm over here doing business, and they want me to bring that belt back. But you've got another girl on the way, so it's going to be 4 girls, which is.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, oh Lord.
Yes.
I can say that because I got 2 girls. Okay. So you represent a lot of us, right?
Okay, there you go. Exactly.
Couple of girls, that's it. How good.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but we can't wait to see you bring that belt back, Volk. And it's really interesting what you said to me only a few weeks ago. You said that the only fighter who's really been able to go toe-to-toe with you for 5 rounds has been Islam Makhachev. Everybody else just sort of has a puncher's chance. So Diego Lopes, I would say, well, effectively needs a finish by that logic. So what do you need to do to counteract that? Because he is very good at finding a finish. After all, 22 of his 26 victories have been via finish. Yeah,
for sure. So when I say that, I don't mean like, it's only lucky shots. Obviously, people can set up the right shot. They got the power, in Ilya's case. But I just mean that no one's beaten me for 25 minutes. You know what I mean? No one's going to out-strategize me. And I truly do believe that. The only person that has a chance of doing that is Islam Makhachev, being bigger and, being so well-rounded. But with Diego, just him being he's so aggressive. That's why he's dangerous, right? He's got a chance because of how aggressive he is, but obviously he's going to leave a lot of openings. You come at me like that, expect some big thing to get thrown back. Expect to miss, and some big things getting thrown back at you. So I believe I'll be capitalising on his aggression, but at the same time I need to be wary because that's why he will be dangerous because of how aggressive he is.
But you talk about prep, game plans. I'm fascinated in maybe the stuff outside of that, where you're at right now in your prep, and giving our audience at home maybe a little bit of insight to what the next couple of days looks like for you. You just spoke your water loading at the moment. Yep. Talk us a little bit about that and what you got coming up.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a process. Camp's hard, right? Like the intensity of training, as you would know, like a pre-season, football and that, you used to get stuck into. That's how camp is. It's just very, very intense. To get you ready for the fight. But then the fight week comes and it's, even though you're dieting the whole way through camp, you're still able to eat. The dieting goes, very, very strict. And the water loading, so you're drinking a heap of water because you want to start depleting some of that water. So you've got to cut sodiums and carbs because that's what's going to hold onto the water. So you start cutting them, you lower obviously the calories and you stick to more of your fats and proteins. And just start to deplete everything. So it's quite the process. Yeah. That's why when you see me cook for the boys doing the burgers and that, obviously I can't eat any of that. I had what do they call it? Hibachi? What is it?
Hibachi?
Hibachi, that's it, yeah. Hibachi, they end up doing that. And they're like, we can still cook your stuff with that. But I mean, I seen them throwing soy sauce all over the pan. I'm like, nah, that's all right. I'll just enjoy the show, and I'll cook my own, our own food later. But I'm lucky enough to have, the fight dietitian Geordie and that, like a team around me that cooks the right food and all the science behind it. But there is a science, not only during fight week and before the fight, but even after the weigh-in. It's still a bit of science, rehydrating and reloading. The reload they call it, making sure you get the right nutrients, the right, sodiums and all the stuff that you need to, get that back into you, all the water, do it properly, right? So it's a whole process, but yeah, it is quite fascinating.
Yeah, it is. So wait, you're telling me that post-weigh-in is just as important as cutting?
Yeah, if not more important. That's where a lot of people get it wrong. A lot of people will get the weight off, finally be able to, I can eat now, and they go nuts.
Yeah.
They start getting constipated, they get the runs, stomach aches, get real sick, you know what I mean? And, it happens quite a bit, so you need to have the professionals around you, or at least someone with a bit of knowledge to point you in the right direction, because it can get quite nasty. You could imagine what we do to our body during the weight cut. I'm talking about depleting, but then that last 24 hours when we sweat anywhere from, some fighters anywhere from 3 to 7 kilograms, right? Maybe even more with some people in the heavier division. So you could imagine doing that and then just not eating, everything shrinking, and then all of a sudden just chucking a whole heap of random, I was about to say the wrong word, but a whole heap of random stuff back in. It can be quite nasty. You've got to be careful.
The physical side of things sounds so difficult, but what about the mental side of things, Volk? You went 10 years almost undefeated. Now you're encountering a situation that you've never been in before. Mm-hmm. How has that been different for you mentally the past year and a bit?
It's not any different. I'm not looking at it as like, I'm bouncing back from the fights. It's not like that. It's I've got a job to do. That's how I always look at it. I've got a guy in front of me. I've got a job to do. There are going to be questions where people are like, has he still got it and all that sort of stuff. So, there you might think of showing people, reminding them that I'm still that guy. Like that might come up, but I don't care about the losses, to be honest. So mentally, that's old news, right? That's how I look at it. I've got a job to do. There's a guy in front of me, and preparation went well, and I'm just going to go and do it. So that's how I look at it. I don't really look at it as, you're coming off 2 losses or anything like that. So it's weird. I guess most people would look at it like that, but I don't.
Yeah, it's a great message, and there's going to be people watching this that have been through setbacks, whatnot. But you're sitting here talking about all your eyes are in. Hey, you're not looking out. You're focusing on what you can control.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. What I can control and preparation. It's easy from the outside in looking in, or even the person, right? Anyone can. I'm not an overthinker as well, but a lot of people are gonna just overthink the whole situation. But with me, it's like I've got a job to do. This is a guy in front of me, and how I always treat. I've got a game plan, and that's where all my focus is. That's what I need to stick to a game plan to win. It's not that, you're coming off 2 losses. No. That's why, you're going to lose. Then it's just like, I've got a game plan. If I get caught, and I've always thought that, even before the 2 KO losses. This is, you get what I mean? So the mindset's exactly how it's always been. This guy's got a puncher's chance. As I said, that's the only way I see myself losing. So I've got to have the right strategy to stop that from happening.
Well, just on strategy, a guy like Diego, as brilliant as he is, I don't think he's as good a grappler as Islam Makhachev. I don't think he's as good a striker as Ilia Topuria. He's obviously a very different style to the two of them, but how do you feel like the 2 camps that you had in preparation for Ilia and Islam have prepared you for taking on a guy like Diego, who is well-rounded himself? Yeah,
for sure. He's, I'll put him up there with, when it comes to jiu-jitsu and dangerous submissions, I'll put him up there, because he's quite aggressive with submissions, and he's good. It's not just throwing up any submissions. He really puts the submissions together very well. So he's good there. So that's going to be something that I need to take serious. But as you said, these camps that I've had with your Ortegas, and Islam, even Yair Rodriguez, I did so much submission defense with guys like Craig Jones, you know what I mean? And that just has always leveled me up. I've always been hard to submit, but then going through them camps, it almost makes you impossible to submit. That's how I feel, So I'm going to go in there with that mindset that I can't be finished in there. He can't submit me. He can catch me, but I feel like I'm not just going to chase the takedown just because I know he can't submit me, because I believe I can capitalise on the feet as well. But we'll see where the fight goes. I think there's a lot I can capitalise on. He is very dangerous, so I will still respect his jiu-jitsu, but I'm going in there knowing that I'm going to be pretty hard to submit.
With your takedown defense, with your grappling, we had a mutual friend, Kai Kara France. Mm-hmm. In your time away, did you do any work? Were you coaching, doing any work with anyone else? Was it a way for you to step out but still stay connected with the sport?
I was still training. So I was still training. When I say that I had a big break, I was still training, but I just put family and everything first. Yeah. So I was training around everything else, where usually I'm doing everything around training and the full schedule, and I train all year round through the 12, 13 years of my career while I was, just I lived around training schedule. That's how it was. So it was so good to just, train around that. But I mean, I was still training. Yeah. So it was, I was still in there doing a heap and just working on things, helping out. I've got a great team where they're always helping me. So I was able to help a lot of them through camp as well. And just, going through the motions and, just enjoying the training, really. So that was really good. But I'm always training. Even when I say I'm not. Even when I say I'm not, I'm still training. But it definitely was pulled back quite a bit.
Yeah.
Volk, you got the whole country behind you, mate. Thanks for your time. Good luck this weekend.
No worries. Thank you. Hey, we're getting it back and we're bringing that belt back.
NZ's behind you too, baby.
Yeah, let's go.